There are a lot of ways to get optimized mouse and keyboard to get lower input lag, but controllers only have a select few things in order to reduce input delay. In this video, I'm going to show everyone watching how to overclock a controller, which controllers can be overclocked, and which controllers do not even need overclocking and are just good out of the box. First things first, let's get some misconceptions out of the way. Number one, PS5 controllers do not clock higher than 1000 Hz and are limited to 1000 Hz regardless of what you select in the overclocking tool. More on this later. Second, Xbox controllers like the Xbox One controller and Elite are completely locked and do not overclock. AKA, if you set them to 1000 Hz in the overclocking tool, they will still be at 250 Hz or 125 Hz effective polling rate, and thus you are experiencing a placebo effect if you think it is improving your input delay. Number three, modded controllers like the Scuf and Vision Pro, DualSense Edge, and GameSir Xbox controllers are in fact already 1000 Hz as soon as you plug them in, unless you have a software like the Scuf and the GameSir. Number four, beat interval in the overclocking tool is not the milliseconds of input delay the controller has. Completely ignore this and only check input delay / polling rate using the polling.exe tool made by Gamepad LA that I will show how to use here. With that out of the way, if you have a regular PS5, PS4, or modded Xbox controller that requires overclocking to get 1000 Hz, let's get started. First things first, we have to check our current polling rate prior to overclocking to actually make sure the overclock is applying. Head over to the link in the description and download the controller overclock guide pack, and then make sure you have the controller plugged in and ready to go in your hands. So what you want to do is you're going to find this pack that you have downloaded, and then once you have found it in the downloads, right click on it, click extract files, and then press OK. Then open up the pack, double click polling.exe. Then you just want to grab your controller and you're going to pretty much select the number of tests that you want. So for us, 1000 is completely fine, so I'm just going to type 1 and then press enter. Then just pick whatever, left stick or right stick. So for me, I'm just going to pick left stick. Now this is really important. You want to make sure that you twist your left stick or right stick at a 360 motion consistently at a constant fast speed. So as you guys can see, this is my controller, a PS4 controller with no overclocks, and this is the input delay. As you guys can see, if you did it right, then you should be getting around polling rate max, whatever the polling rate currently is, and the stability 100%. If your stability is around 90%, it's completely fine. As long as you look at the average polling rate and actually determine that it's the actual polling rate the controller is running on, then you're good to go. Then we're going to close out of this. If you're on Windows 11, make sure to run this reg file right here and then restart your computer before continuing. However, if you're on Windows 10 or older, then completely fine to not run this. Now, if you don't use the audio on the controller, you can actually disable it. So just double click this right here, click view, device by connection, scroll down, find the controller, and then just disable wireless controller. Then you can close out of that. Now we're gonna go to overclock, double click setup.exe, choose all, and then find your controller right here, and then click install service, filter on device, default change it to 1000, and then press restart. Now some controllers you might have to unplug it and plug it back in order to see the changes. If it tells you to do that, just do that, and you should see that the beat interval changes. Now if you're on PS5, it should change to 4 if you set it to 1000. If you're on PS4 or an Xbox, it should just change to 1. Now PS5 is different, just ignore B interval, it's not your input delay. If you're on PS5, just make sure you set it to 1000, nothing higher, then press close. Then we're going to go back to downloads and then find the controller overclock guide, double click polling.rate.exe, and we're just going to choose 2000 again, and then the left stick, and now this time, same as I said earlier, 360 motion, constant fast speed. So this is my input delay after overclocking it. So as you guys can see, 1000 Hz, the average is 1000 Hz, and it's 1 milliseconds of refresh interval. Now, this means that the controller is completely overclocked and it's good to go. Just one thing to point out, every time you change the USB port for the controller overclock will get reset. So make sure you're using the same USB port every single time on your motherboard in order for the overclock to not reset. And just to double check, restart your computer right now, run the polling.rate.exe test one more time, and make sure it's actually at the polling rate that you have it set to. If it's not, just redo the overclocking tool, and then it should be set to that. Now I just want to make something certain that PS5 controllers do not run at anything higher than 1000. So if you set it, for example, to 8000 and still run this tool, it will not say 8000, it will just say 1000. That's because the controller is physically capped at 1000 Hz. There is no 2000, there is no 4000, there is no 8000 Hz. I'm not completely certain why the tool shows anything above 1000 Hz. That's up to the person who made the tool to figure that out. But for the purposes of this video, do not set it at anything higher, because if you do, you are going to get stutters due to to the data sending more than once. I've explained this in a TikTok short in the past that basically if you set the polling rate to 2000 Hz, it will send 1000 Hz data twice. If you set it to 4000 Hz, it will send 1000 Hz data 4 times. And if you set it to 8000 Hz, it will send 1000 Hz data 8 times. Now you could kind of add up how this can create problems, especially on bad computers. So make sure to not set it to that. And if you do, you are going to get stutters and you're just chasing a placebo effect. And you can just easily double check this with the check polling rate.exe tool. Now, other than that, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. There's not much else you can do for controllers in order to lower their input delay. This is by far the majority of everything. Just make sure you're using a wired controller, a controller that is actually 1000 Hz, and making sure that you're using the same USB port every single time that you use the controller, because if you're not using the same USB port, the overclock will get reset. Other than that, that's going to be pretty much it for this guide. If you guys have any questions, comment down below, and if you guys finally learn how to overclock your controller properly, then like and share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure to comment down below that I've actually helped you. Other than that, I'm just going to head out now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys got a lower input delay on controller. Peace.